They put me in solitary confinement. And there's a new rule now where you can't even be in solitary confinement for more than 2 months out of the year. But I was there before that rule, when you can be in the box for 500 days and never get out, and you only get a shower for 10 minutes, and you back inside and then rec, if it's the winter, it's freezing. But even when you go outside, you're in a cage. Like, you don't get to walk around, you're just in a cage. Like, it makes you erratic. Like, that's why I'm so nervous to talk to people, because I don't know what I'm gonna say. I would ask him if I slept. I was up all night, like, worried about how I would sound, or, because I don't really talk to people, and I get angry so fast, and I don't know how to, like, try to get around stuff, because I didn't interact with people the whole time I was an adolescent. I had one fight and never got out the box. Kids fight, kids fight, and then you get yelled at or whatever, but you don't get put in a box for a long period of time, and you just don't never get out. Like, that just messed up my whole life, like, after that. And I heard a lot of people, like, that I was with them in the box too, like, all that time. They there's something wrong with them, Like, I can tell they've changed. I can see it. We can't even be friends because I can tell, like, it's something wrong. I don't know how to say it, but it's something wrong. Like, they're not the same. And I always blamed it on Rikers. I always blamed it on Rikers.
So it was just a complete nightmare. They put me in a cell, and I kid you not, it was covered in feces, dry feces, and I mean, why wouldn't they clean that up before they put somebody in it? I mean, there was garbage and papers and food all over the floor. The mattress in it was urine stained, just filthy. How could you put a human being in a situation like that? I sat on the floor by the gates, right, and day after day. And all they did was push a little tray, and I didn't see anybody for like maybe 3 days. So to add to depression, add an abundance of anger, and hopelessness, and I still wouldn't talk. So they just kept sliding the food, and there was no real, like, ventilation or light. But I remember there was a little window, and it was so crusted with dust and dirt that you could barely tell it was day and night. And I was in solitary confinement for 3 months in that condition, in the hot heat of the summer, where I had to take all my clothes off. The heat was unbearable. There was no ventilation. I remember this big feeling that this is the way I was going to die. I was going to suffocate in this cell. I remember getting on the floor, completely nude, throwing what little water I had from the toilet, because the sink didn't work, on my body, right, to cool myself off from the toilet. And I laid on the floor and tried to, in that condition, to get a little bit of air under that much of a crack under the door, just to get some air. And I laid like that all day because the air inside the place was just unbreathable. I found out that year people died from that, in that condition, and it's still happening. It happened recently. A person overheated in one of those cells and died recently. So, man, it was at the time, I just thought it was me, but since I didn't have anybody to talk to, nobody to rate it, I just thought, wow, this is how I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I went to the box for 30 days for breaking the girl's nose. Being in that box in Rikers Island fucked me up. Like, when I say it fucked me up, I couldn't sleep. It's like I was seeing things. It smelled like fucking garbage. It's horrible. For the first time in my life, I smelled death. Let people know how Rikers Island is. How disgusting it is. How the officers are. How violent they are.